Kyle Shanahan was asked about Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffery MVP campaign. The only reason I wouldn't overly commit on either one of them because I don't want to cancel each other out. But if any non-quarterback is going to get an MVP, I don't know how it's not Christian McCaffrey. I mean, he's amazing in what he's done all year. If a quarterback, then I have to talk about Chris. I have to talk about if it's going to be a quarterback, then I don't have to talk about Christian. I can talk about our quarterback. And if his numbers is all you see, I think that solves it. But if you watch the film, then it makes it an even stronger, which to me is the most important thing. Purdy is third in passing yards, 3,553, second in passing touchdowns, 25, while ranking 22nd in pass attempts. So he's putting up these numbers, not throwing nearly as many passes. So in other words, he's more efficient with the passes that he does throw with a higher touchdown percentage than the other quarterbacks. And he's number one in QBR. Dak Prescott, who I believe is his chief competitor, ranks fourth. What is he? 48 yards behind him. He's first in passing touchdowns with 28. He ranks sixth in pass attempts, and he's second in QBR. So it's going to come down. It's going to be, like I said, you remember we was talking about it, Ocho?
Yeah.
It's horse race. And down the stretch they come.
Down the stretch,
C-Mac is first in rush yards, 1,177. He's first in rush yards per game, 90.5. He's second in rush touchdowns, 12.
With 12, yeah.
And that's the thing. Go ahead.
I love what the 49ers are doing.
Mm-hmm.
But that juggernaut of an offense, man. That juggernaut of an offense, it's like almost unfair. And I've made the comparison before when you and I talked about it. And I compare it to that Warriors team when they had fucking Steph, Kevin Durant,
KD.
goddamn KD. I mean, like, god damn, you can't go no wrong. And then when you look at it, well, you know what? You should be putting up those numbers. When you look at supporting cast you have to work with, you got damn Brandon Ayuk, you got Deebo Samuels, you got the GOAT, maybe one of the greatest left tackles of all time, and Trent Williams. Then you got the quarterback. Obviously, we know what you got in the backfield with goddamn McCaffery. He's been doing it for a very long time.
Yeah.
Well, goddamn,
you got Kittle.
You got, oh my goodness, I forgot Kittle. I'm sorry, Kittle. I'm sorry, baby. I know you're gonna see this. I love you to death. But you got Kittle. I mean, what you expect? You got a superstar team. You have a superstar team.
Mm-hmm.
When I think about the MVP, I'm being a little biased. I like what Tyreek Hill has done. I don't have his numbers in front of me, but I just have a better.
I think he has 1,542 yards. 12 touchdowns. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I don't have the numbers in front of me either.
Right.
But I remember seeing it a couple of days ago, and I think if my memory serves me correct, I think it's 1,542.
So I'm just thinking about what he means to that offense.
Yeah,
with the Dolphins. I'm just thinking about it. He hurts his ankle. He goes out for 2 quarters, and the offense stalls completely. They're struggling to move the ball and be as efficient as they should be. And it goes to show the importance that he is, how valuable he is. And he's not even a quarterback. And you were able to see that visibly, pure as day. And I think that's why they lost. Those 2 quarters hurt them because, to me, with Tyreek being on the field, I think that's 14 to 21 goddamn points.
Is that holiday time of year again? Looking for something different for your favorite sports person on your list? Think Game Time. Tickets for sports, concert, and comedy shows all make fantastic gifts this time of year, even if it's last minute. The best way to buy tickets to any event is on Game Time, the fastest growing ticket app in the U.S. Game Time is the only ticket app that gives you peace of mind with your purchase. They let you see the view from your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. Their all-in prices show you the total up front, so you always know you're getting a great deal. And it takes no time at all. You can buy tickets in seconds with 2 taps. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and redeem Nightcap for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, download the Game Time app. Enter the code NIGHTCAP. That's NIGHTCAP for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. But you know what, Ocho? What he did by not playing, but maybe a couple of plays that game on Monday night, he took all the Tua votes away that Tua could possibly get for MVP. He took them away.
Right. Okay, I see what you
Because
mean.
all the voters are gonna say, nah, it ain't you, it's Tua. It's Reek.
Right.
It's
Right.
Reek. Because he looked lost. He looked very without Tyreek on the field, he looked very marginal. He still had Mostert. He still had Waddle. He still had Wilson. He still had the weapons, the only Devon A. Chain. He still had all the guys on the field that he would normally have, except 10. And he looked marginal. And then you see they start getting going again once he got back on the field. So all the voters that could potentially possibly be voting for Tua, say, nah, it's not you, bro. I'm sorry. It's Tyreek.
Yeah, but I think I like Tua. Tua is good. He's very efficient, very accurate. Very, 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 very accurate. And when it comes in within the offense, within the timing of the offense, he is very, very good at being very accurate and throwing the ball on time.
Yes.
I like him. But I don't know. I just had to make my case for Tyreek because obviously they would never give him MVP to a receiver. It's a quarterback.
Well, I'm saying the closest receiver came was Jerry in 87. When he played 12 games, the strikes shortened season. Right. He played 12 games. He had 22 receiving touchdowns. And if I'm not mistaken, he lost by 1 vote or 2 votes to John Elway. But I think in 82, a kicker won the MVP. Cox from the Washington Red. Oh, excuse me. I want to say that. They were they were the name, but now they're the Commanders. But if I'm not mistaken, I think the strike shortened season, didn't Steve Cox win the award? Mark Mosley, straight on kicker. Mark Mosley. But it was in 82, right? 82 was another strike shortened season.
Right.
Now, there have been 2 defensive players to win the award. Alan Page was the first to win it. LT was the last to win it. Minnesota, the Purple People Eaters, Alan Page, Minnesota Vikings, LT, that great defense in 86.
Yeah. They completely dominated games consistently throughout the entirety of a season. So I understand it. But when I look at what Tyreek has been able to do, he has completely dominated games throughout the consistency of a season. And he said, listen, he set a goal. I want to have 2,000 yards by the end of the season. He set a goal and he right there on it. He's right there on it. You know how hard it is to say, you know what, I'm gonna go do this and then go and execute it and do that, and they know it's coming and you still can't stop it.
Yeah, he's gonna have to pick up the pace because that 61 yards really hurt him. Remember, I told you, Ocho, he needs to have one of these games where he goes 200 and maybe have another 150 behind it because as he gets closer, the team's like, I don't want you breaking the record on us.
Right.
Because remember, in The Last Dance, there was a lot of things leading up to it, but what did they mainly show? The shot on Utah. Look, Utah wasn't the only one that did play.
With Russell Gardner,
he pushed him and he held a pose. So teams like, nah, we're not going to be in your documentary. The whole documentary, all you do is talk about you cooked us.
You know what's funny? The funny thing about it, even if you do come in with a game plan, you know what? We're going to stop Tyreek. They're going to find a mismatch anyway because they do so many different things with him. What schematically, you ain't no way to stop him. They put him in motion. They put him in the slot. They put him in the backfield. Man, they do all kind of things with him where he's consistently find ways to get the man the ball no matter what.
But in that situation, I think it's going to be different, Ocho, because if it's close, let me tell you why. You remember when Jerry Rice Day, his last game in '99, when he was with the 49ers?
Seahawks or 49ers?
No, he was with the 49ers, and they played the Bears, and they had a Jerry Rice Appreciation Day. That was the day that T.O. broke the record because they said, we're not going to let Jerry Rice celebrate.
Oh, no.
And the next thing you know, T.O. got 20 for like 200 or something.
Crazy, yeah.
So that's what they're like. Jalen Waddle might have 300 yards. So, you might have 2 other receivers, but they're going to do everything they possibly can to make sure Tyreek doesn't get that record.